The night is young and the world is a great big open paradise. This might be the video I've seen recently that has emotionally affected me the most. Good afternoon. Anyway, like I was saying, good morning, army. Hello, welcome to my channel. That's right, this is my channel, so back off, all you channel thieves out there. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. We're back strapped into the reaction chair. You can't see it, it's below the camera line, but I'm strapped in. The doctors did that. Strapped in for another reaction. Another BTS reaction, and it's we're back on board with the Spring Day experience because I just did my reaction to the Spring Day video. If you haven't watched that, then obviously you should probably check that out first. And now it's time to react to the explanation. Except this time there was controversy and hot debate, raging angsty flame wars in my comments. Just kidding, that didn't happen except in my head. But there was some debate in the comments. Some people were suggesting different explanation videos, and quite a few times a few people made quite impassioned pleas to me to react to one particular explanation video, which is by Italian Army, a YouTuber called Italian Army, and apparently it goes into Spring Day in quite a lot more depth than some of the other videos. That being said, if you're watching this and you're sat there with your Doritos and your big popcorn movie theater drink bucket, and you sat down and you're like, God damn it, curse it, I came here to see the reaction to a different explanation video, then fear not, because I am willing to do a reaction to more than one explanation video for this song. Sounds crazy, and probably is crazy, but, I want to make you guys happy. Of course, if I didn't, it would be kind of a rubbish channel, wouldn't it? So if you are out there and you're like, this isn't a reaction channel you're looking for, what am I talking about? This isn't the explanation video you were looking for, then I'm happy to react to the other one, the one that has more views. The one that I'm choosing not to name because I've forgotten what it's called. So let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm going to be reacting to this one. It is quite a long video. It's about 18 minutes, I think. So I might have to do this video in two parts. We'll see. I might just choose to kind of watch it and not stop it too much and give my thoughts at the end. We'll see where the day takes me. The night is young and the world is a great big open paradise, which is actually kind of locked down right now and I can't go anywhere. But yeah, so, there's options and possibilities, so fear not. Of course, I want to give a quick shout out to those of you who did request this particular explanation video, but just before I get to that, I'm legally obliged to say, please do subscribe if you aren't already. It's as simple as that. If you haven't left yet, I've been rambling for about 3 minutes right now. If you haven't left yet, that's probably a good sign, maybe. Or maybe you're just like, wow, is he actually this annoying? Let's just keep watching. But yeah, please subscribe. Why not? Make my day. If you like social media, if you're one of those crazy weirdos who like social media, I'm on it. Look at social media on the dictionary and you'll see me sat on it, naked, wrapped in a towel. So I'm on social media at Comedian Reacts, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. Pitch over. Whew. Okay, now to thank a few of you folks. So I want to thank Emily Lim, Yordi Michelle, Jinu Clint, and Toria Orbis. Just got some dangly bits in my eyes. Okay, that's done. So thank you to all of you lovely, fine, fluffy, friendly folks for suggesting this. It's a long video, so I should probably get cracking. Let's do it. This video may contain potentially sensitive content. This might be about to be heavy. So, yes, preparing myself for heaviness. Okay, let's go.
Benvenuti nel mio canale. Oggi analizzeremo insieme il video della canzone Spring Day.
Oh, yes, we will, my good friend.
Spring Day è uno dei brani del nuovo repackage album Wings You Never Walk Alone. Se fate attenzione potete notare come il logo dell'album sia composto da 4 nastri gialli.
Consists of 4 yellow ribbons. I said I wouldn't pause it and I already am. What am I doing in my life? 4 yellow ribbons. I mean, yes, kind of. It's a bit of a stretch. It looks more like a a ring. I'd say it was closer to, you know, the one ring from Lord of the Rings than it is to a ribbon, but okay, we'll go with that.
Il nastro giallo è un simbolo universale, infatti lo trovate anche fra le emoji di WhatsApp.
Alright, fair enough.
Può avere vari significati, ma per lo più è associato a coloro che attendono il ritorno di una persona cara. Rientra nella categoria
I had no idea about that.
consapevolezza, usati per esprimere sostegno a favore di cause e campagne civili. In particolare in Corea del Sud è stato usato come simbolo in memoria delle vittime del naufragio del traghetto Sewol.
Okay,
che avvenne il
okay.
16
That's,
aprile
yeah,
del
plausible.
2014 e portò alla morte di 304 persone, la maggior parte delle quali studenti in gita scolastica. I BTS
Okay, so I did a bit of reading about the Sewol ferry tragedy. Admittedly, not as much as I should have done, but as I understand it, it was essentially a ferry crash or disaster that was kind of like swept under the rug by the government because the response to it, like particularly the emergency response, was just really flawed, and they basically swept it under the rug. So that is about the most uneducated and misinformed summary of it I can give, but that's what I understand about it. So yeah, back to it.
parte delle quali studenti in gita
And obviously, because it involved children, it was far more sensitive as an issue.
Avete fatto una donazione ai genitori delle vittime di questa tragedia, ma di questo parleremo più avanti. Ci sarebbe moltissimo da dire sulla questione, in particolare sul comportamento inaccettabile dell'equipaggio della nave e della guardia costiera o sulla corruzione e negligenza del governo di
Yeah, I did not know about the ship's crew. Presumably that was them, like, just having a cigarette while the thing was sinking. Or it was just some sneaky journalist who took a video of the crew on a different day and just rotated it. But I'm going to assume it was legit footage.
Osserviamo la scena iniziale del video.
I'm looking at it.
Situazione che in Corea non è più in funzione da molti anni, ma si inginocchia appoggiando le orecchie sulle rotaie per
There's something about abandoned train stations, isn't
Se
there?
ascoltiamo bene, però, possiamo sentire il segnale
Something very creepy about abandoned train stations.
Subito dopo, l'inquadratura segue un treno
Okay, so she's saying that that's the sound of a ship and not a train. Which, yeah, I'll go with that.
Subito dopo, l'inquadratura segue un treno immaginario su dei binari vuoti. Il treno traghetto non arriverà mai e vi finirà per camminare tristemente in mezzo alle rotaie. Queste scene rappresentano il sentimento dei parenti e degli amici.
But if the train never comes, isn't he pictured being on the train a bit after that? This is nuts. Again, this is 17 minutes of information about a 4-minute music video and my brain is already exploding. I'm just gonna try and
Aspettarsi di veder
keep it
comparire
together.
da un momento all'altro i propri cari come se nulla fosse successo, ma anche la loro richiesta a lungo inascoltata di riportare a terra il traghetto che si trovava ancora negli abissi assieme ai corpi di 9 dispersi fino a pochi giorni fa. Le prime parole della canzone sono "mi mancate", mentre viene inquadrato il mare e Jimin che lo osserva. Poco dopo lo vediamo trovare delle scarpe sulla spiaggia e notate anche come sono rovinati i vestiti che indossa. La scena fa qui che lo osserva. Poco dopo lo vediamo trovare delle scarpe sulla spiaggia e notate anche come sono rovinati i vestiti.
The clothes he wears are ruined. That's such a subtle detail. And honestly, in any other, because when you're famous, when you're an artist, you can wear whatever you want and it's fashionable. So any other day I would have just been like, oh, it's just some cool new fashion where, you know, it used to be back in the day it was popping collars, now it's tearing collars off slightly. But no, I understand that. I understand that as... But this is the thing about reading stuff into art like this, especially art that's intense like BTS's, that's already packed with meaning, is it's so possible to overanalyze. And I'm not saying that's ever a bad thing, but couldn't it just be that this is like one of those shirts that you kind of button up at the back? I don't even know if that's a thing. Okay, I'm going to stop getting hung up about the shirt because who really cares? Because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, her analysis about the shoe thing, the shoes washing up on the beach, that's genius. Again, I completely missed that in my first watch, but it's genius. And I did take the fact that a scene in the music video where they're all sat in a huge pile of clothes, which is, you know, pretty stark imagery.
Jimin si tiene accanto le scarpe come a rappresentare un amico che non c'è più. Se i vestiti simboleggiano le vittime, gli oblò delle lavatrici ricordano quelli di una nave, quindi anche le lavatrici rappresentano il traghetto e i vestiti sono le persone intrappolate alle...
Okay, again, that's genius. That's genius. That is brilliant imagery. Because especially if, I mean, even if there wasn't an air of like censorship behind it, it would still make it like really, really clever imagery anyway. But the fact that, like, as far as I've understand it, and what some of you guys said in the comments, is that they had to they kind of had to make this more subtle because you're not really allowed to openly criticize the government there. That's the impression I got. So the fact that they've made this imagery subtle as it is, but as poignant as it is really just genius.
I cestelli girano capovolgendosi, proprio come accadde al Sewol. Ascoltate cosa dice il testo della canzone in queste scene. Si riferisce all'ordine insensato che venne continuamente trasmesso ai passeggeri del Sewol e che fu una delle cause principali della loro morte. Sarebbe bastato saltare in mare per salvarsi.
I definitely remember like hearing about this when it happened back in 2014, because I am a person who reads the news, so I think it's coming back to me now. But yeah, telling passengers to remain where they are and that leads to their deaths is just like, whew.
Solo in questi oblò che poi vengono inquadrati da vicino sono stati aggiunti degli adesivi con le istruzioni, dove non a caso l'unica frase leggibile è "Don't forget". Non dimenticare è uno degli slogan più usati per ricordare le tragedie, ma nel caso del naufragio del Sewol è un messaggio
This is so clever,
perché alle famiglie.
and it also just makes a mockery of how stupid censorship is, because in circumventing the censorship, they've made something that is far more poignant and gets its message across far more directly than it ever would have, you know? That's why censoring stuff never works, because people just it kind of goes into the whole Barbara Streisand effect thing, you know? You try and censor something and it makes people try even harder to push the message out there.
Ragazzi sopravvissuti fu più volte ripetuto di accettare e dimenticare l'accaduto. Guardate ora questa foto. Ritrae uno dei sommozzatori incaricato di recuperare i corpi delle vittime dentro la camera di decompressione. L'oblò non vi ricorda qualcosa? E quest'altra scena in cui Ginny inserisce la moneta per far partire la lavatrice si riferisce chiaramente agli interessi economici e alla corruzione che sono stati la reale causa dell'incidente.
Wait, what?
Per farvi capire, la moneta per far... L'oblò non vi ricorda qualcosa? E quest'altra scena in cui Ginny inserisce la moneta per far partire la lavatrice si riferisce chiaramente agli interessi economici e alla corruzione che sono stati la reale causa dell'incidente.
That's really deep.
Per questa e le scene successive devo fare una breve pausa e spiegare alcune dinamiche della tragedia. Il naufragio del Sewol.
This is a new one for me. I'm going to take a short break and explain to you a tragedy that happened. I mean, imagine that in the cinema. Oh, this is a long movie. We'll take a short break and explain how Titanic went down. This is a heavy video, but it's genius. Italian Army is a fantastic video.
Pausa e spiegare alcune dinamiche della tragedia. Il naufragio del Sewol fu causato dal peso eccessivo dovuto a delle modifiche illegali effettuate alla nave, che però aveva comunque ottenuto una licenza di circolazione. Alcuni membri del governo furono accusati di avere interessi finanziari nella società proprietaria del traghetto, ma le indagini furono portate avanti in modo poco trasparente e alla fine molti dei reali responsabili...
Alright, I'm gonna have to try this again. The only downside of this video is that there's about 4 different subtitles on it. It's a bit like reading a braille puzzle.
Avere interessi finanziari nella società proprietaria del traghetto, ma le indagini furono portate avanti in modo poco trasparente e alla fine molti dei reali responsabili rimasero impuniti. Alcune delle responsabilità più gravi pesano sulla guardia costiera. Giunta sul luogo dell'incidente, dopo aver recuperato quelli che per legge avrebbero dovuto mettere in sicurezza i passeggeri,
yeah, everyone knows that.
Si premurò
since the age of like how old I was when the Titanic came out. Not that old is the answer. I've known that, you know, the captain goes out at last. That's just basic knowledge.
Capitano si premurò soltanto di impedire alle imbarcazioni civili accorse in aiuto di avvicinarsi.
아까 낮에도 자기네들이 유리창이라도 깨가지고 한 사람이라도 구하려고 그랬더니 경찰이 못 깨겠다는 거예요 그거를.
What?
Dei soccorritori si introdusse nella nave e ruppe le finestre per liberare chi era intrappolato dentro. Alla fine la maggioranza dei sopravvissuti fu salvata dai pescherecci che riuscirono ad avvicinarsi. E intanto la nave continuava ad affondare fino a che poche ore dopo
This is just a mindless tragedy. It's all starting to make sense to me now. Like, now I understand just how bad this tragedy was and just why it was such, you know, a just scarring, like, horrifying event. I think now you can comprehend why a band like BTS would go to such great lengths to commemorate it and to kind of spread the message about it as well. And they've done a great job of doing that. But my goodness, like, this is just one of those things that kind of makes you, like, just, like, question your faith in humanity, you know? This isn't just a series of unfortunate events, it's a series of not even incompetence, like, not just negligence, like, criminal negligence, like, you know, willful... I mean, evil is a strong word for anyone to throw around, and for me especially, but how is that not evil? Like, telling passengers to stay where they are while the boat's sinking, not letting people come to the rescue, like, that's just mindless. And I don't think intent necessarily has to be behind evil, because evil is like a certain category of things that are just so inexplicable, things that would not cross the mind of a normal person, you feel like. And I can't imagine the sort of mindset I'd have to be in to tell people not to rescue people, to tell people not to save themselves, to tell people to stay on a sinking boat. Wow, this is crazy. Honestly.
Passeggeri senza attrezzature per l'immersione. Nonostante ciò, la stampa, manipolata dal governo che non voleva perdere consensi elettorali, riportava alla nazione rassicuranti notizie false.
시도 중이다. 이렇게 지금 보도가 나가고 있는데요. 이게 사실이 아니라면서요? 네.
I pochi giornalisti che si recarono sul posto furono licenziati e subirono pressioni e censure da parte del governo. In queste immagini si vede chiaramente come la Guardia Costiera abbia ostacolato e addirittura sabotato le operazioni di recupero di volontari esperti.
이게 저게 된 게 아닌 것 같아. 그래서 자른 거지.
뭐 지금 이유야 뭐 기상 악화로 뭐 안전을 위한다고 그러지만 충분히 들어가려면 들어갈 수가 있거든요.
No, I guess I honestly had no idea. I don't have a great knowledge about South Korea as a country. All I guess I could really know is that it's obviously definitely not the same thing as far as corruption or whatever as North Korea. But I guess I would never have fathomed that this kind of thing would happen. I mean, I personally think America is about as corrupt as a nation can get in certain ways. And I don't know if this would happen in America. But, you know, now I'm saying that, it also probably could. That's why, as I'm watching this, although I'm finding it interesting and I'm learning a lot, I'm not going to make any assumptions from this about South Korea as a country, because, you know, the reality is stuff like this probably happens all the time on a smaller scale, I'm guessing, and, you know, and gets swept under the rug. I mean, you know, there's endless stuff out there for many, many countries that are as messed up as this. But yeah, this is messed up.
민간인들은 들어간대. 근데 경찰은 못 들어간대. 아무것도 하는 게 없어요.
Potete quindi immaginare la rabbia, la frustrazione e il senso di impotenza dei genitori accorsi sul posto, sapendo che i loro figli, forse ancora vivi grazie alle sacche d'aria, stavano morendo a causa dell'inspiegabile mancanza di azione di chi doveva salvarli. Ritorniamo adesso alla scena nella lavanderia, dove l'orologio segna le 9:35. Tra le 9:30 e le 9:45 le apparecchiature di comunicazione del Sewol smisero di funzionare e l'equipaggio fu tratto in salvo mentre i passeggeri venivano abbandonati al loro destino. Poi compare Suga seduto su una pila di vestiti che è praticamente identica all'installazione Person dell'artista francese Christian Boltanski che state vedendo. Rappresenta le persone che ci hanno lasciati. Nel video
and it's
sono
powerful.
circondati dall'oscurità che ricorda appunto gli abissi del mare. In quest'altra scena possiamo notare attaccati alla giostra decine di nastri gialli. Qui abbiamo un'altra prova di come l'intero video faccia riferimento al naufragio del Sewol, perché nei giorni successivi alla catastrofe tantissimi coreani mostrarono il proprio supporto alle famiglie coinvolte aderendo alla campagna dei nastri gialli. Luoghi e strade della nazione furono colorati di fiocchi giallo speranza. Anche la giostra non è stata inserita a caso. You'll Never Walk Alone è una canzone di scena di un musical di Broadway che si chiama appunto Carosello, e viene eseguita in due momenti, per confortare la protagonista subito dopo il suicidio del marito, che era appunto un giostraio, e poi come incoraggiamento verso la loro figlia che sta affrontando l'ultimo anno di scuola. Quindi abbiamo di nuovo i temi del lutto e del conforto. Vedete l'albero dentro?
Wow. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, it's so much detail and so much artistry packed into it that I don't see how it could be a coincidence. So now I understand when everyone is, you know, outright telling me like, no, the video, so maybe not the song specifically, but the video is about the Sewol ferry tragedy. Now I understand why you can say that and assert that, because I mean, like, how could that be a coincidence? Just there's so much stuff in here. And this video isn't even halfway over.
Anche il ciclo della vita, e questo ci ricollega anche all'albero della scena finale di Spring Day. E non è tutto. Questa canzone di scena è diventata l'inno ufficiale della squadra di calcio di Liverpool, che mostrò il suo sostegno alla campagna dei nastri gialli con il tweet che state vedendo. Proprio il giorno prima dell'incidente del Sewol, il Liverpool aveva infatti celebrato l'anniversario di un altro grande disastro,
the Hillsborough.
come da tradizione, cantando il suo inno You'll Never Walk Alone. Sto parlando della
the Hillsborough Stadium tragedy,
che provocò la morte di 96 persone, anche in questo caso molti dei quali ragazzi. Nel 2016 le famiglie delle vittime del Sewol hanno incontrato quelle delle vittime di Hillsborough, unendosi in una campagna comune. Questo perché in entrambi i casi la
Wow. That's amazing. I never knew about that.
le vittime lottarono e lottano ancora per ottenere verità e giustizia.
돈도 필요 없고 보상도 필요 없고 심리치료 다 필요 없거든요. 그것만 해주시면 대한민국의 안전한 미래가 여러분들의 손에 달려있다는 거 그거 하나만 명심해 주시고 제발 도와주시죠.
Da tutto ciò capiamo che la scelta del titolo You Never Walk Alone non è stata affatto casuale. Un altro particolare è lo stato della giostra, arrugginita e rovinata proprio come le lamiere del Sewol sommerso, che è stato recuperato alcuni giorni fa poco dopo la caduta del governo.
Whoa.
Oltre a collegarsi al titolo
It really does look exactly the same, doesn't it? That is haunting now. You know, if I rewatch this video now, that's haunting. It really does look like metal that's been sunk.
musical, quindi anche la giostra rappresenta la nave che trasportava gli studenti. Nelle scene successive del video credo sia stato rappresentato il momento della morte delle vittime. JK sta sognando, infatti indossa vestiti diversi. Corre cercando un'uscita e qualcosa non quadra, tutto trema, le tende svolazzano. Dopo aver attraversato la lavanderia, che come ho detto simboleggia l'inabissamento della nave, JK incontra gli altri membri del gruppo, ma qualche istante dopo si rivede dentro al treno traghetto. È come se la sua anima si fosse staccata dal corpo che è ancora lì, sul mezzo di trasporto. Se notate, il treno sta attraversando un tunnel, un passaggio, che simboleggia appunto il momento del trapasso. La luce diminuisce e vediamo JK e Rap Monster che chiudono gli occhi e abbassano la testa nel tipico atteggiamento del lutto. Il fiammifero si spegne come le vite dei passeggeri del Sewol, ma ecco che si riaccende, compaiono anche gli altri membri.
Wow. See, this is why I'm glad you guys have got me into watching these explanation videos, because I already found all the BTS videos I've seen as being like very just like engaging, like stimulating, like really just thought-provoking, just very like artistic, very, very artistic, very cool. But this is like a whole nother level, and I really like, I can be one of those cynical people sometimes, like maybe it's an insecurity I have, but because I often like struggle with interpretation, or I feel like, you know, I feel like I'll read into interpretations and then somebody in the comments will be like, well, actually, according to Genius and the artist, it's actually a whole different thing to what you were saying. Like, I get like iffy about people insisting about what, you know, art is or isn't saying, you know, especially because I think the nature of art is that whatever emotion it inspires in you is legitimate, and that's how you should accept it. But this just seems like far beyond a coincidence. This isn't just like people, you know, being like, oh, I zoomed in onto this pixel right here by the pile of clothes and I found a triangle, which means Illuminati is real. Ding. No, this is very different. Like, this is pretty, you know, like, you know, the clocks and the time stuff, like it all makes sense as a piece of art. This is art, you know, very poignant art. And I just have a real, you know, an even further appreciation for this music video now, honestly.
Si ritrovano sopra la pila di vestiti, che adesso non è più negli abissi dell'oceano, ma raggiunge il cielo, dove in genere tendiamo a immaginare le persone che ci hanno lasciati. A questo punto JK si risveglia e tutto il gruppo arriva a destinazione. Questo che state vedendo è un video realizzato in memoria delle vittime del Sewol che mi ha ricordato moltissimo la scena finale. Le scarpe appese ad un albero rappresentano qualcuno morto in circostanze tragiche.
That is a solid link.
L'unità stessa della scena fa pensare che i ragazzi stiano porgendo il loro omaggio davanti a un monumento ai caduti. Ricordate le scarpe e i messaggi che vi ho mostrato? In questa possiamo leggere: tesoro, un tuo amico ti ha comprato un bellissimo paio di scarpe. La tua mamma, tuo fratello e tua sorella ti stanno aspettando. La scena trasmette un sentimento di memoria, solidarietà e conforto. Del resto l'intero video è studiato per dare questa sensazione. I colori sono tenui ma vividi, i luoghi sono liberi e aperti oppure chiusi ma accoglienti. L'atmosfera ispira una serenità pacata come la neve, inducendo anche al ricordo di dolci momenti passati, come la scena della festa di compleanno.
And that is, I made a lighthearted comment about the cake scene when I first saw it. But fundamentally, it does just show the spirit of childhood, you know? Like, this looks like a kid's birthday party, and there's nothing more that sums up the spirit of childhood than a kid's birthday party.
Come la scena della festa di compleanno. I momenti che state vedendo adesso rappresentano infatti dei ricordi, perché sia Jin che V li fotografano per poterli riportare alla mente in futuro. L'insegna che vedete fa riferimento a questo libro che parla di una festa dell'estate nella città utopica di Omelas, dove tutti vivono felici. Questa felicità però ha un prezzo. Un bambino deve vivere segregato in un luogo angusto, da solo e malnutrito, in una condizione che lo porterà presto alla morte. L'insegna in rosso, che significa al completo, ci fa riflettere.
See, now this is where I draw the line. It's not a hard line, it's a soft, squiggly line, but this for me goes a bit too far. I'm not even saying it's definitely inaccurate. It could very well be accurate, but I feel like it's too much to be like, is. I prefer when people say could, because it's like, did they really have the budget or the effort to make a whole sign for a hotel that says Omelas to refer to an obscure book? The answer is yeah, possibly, but I mean that's more of a stretch, I think, and I'm not convinced about the no vacancy thing, meaning that the society is restricted to a few. I could sound like a fool saying that because it could be 100% correct, but this just seems like more of a leap. But, and this is important, very interesting. I'm not discrediting it, I'm not saying I'm annoyed by this. I think it's very interesting. I'm just a bit more hesitant about accepting, I guess.
Su come il benessere nella nostra società sia riservato solo ad alcuni. Il significato del racconto di Omelas può essere paragonato a quello del film Snowpiercer, a cui sia il testo che il video di Spring Day fanno riferimento. Lo Snowpiercer è un treno che continua a muoversi attorno alla Terra, colpita da una nuova era glaciale. Tutti gli uomini sopravvissuti si trovano su questo treno, che è diviso in classi sociali. I più ricchi vivono nei vagoni anteriori, mentre i più umili nelle ultime carrozze. I poveri sono continuamente oppressi dai ricchi che...
That is a fascinating concept for a movie.
E per questo organizzano una rivolta con lo scopo di arrivare alla testa del treno e prenderne possesso. Ma una volta arrivati scoprono che, per poter funzionare, il motore ha bisogno che dei bambini sufficientemente piccoli si occupino della sua manutenzione.
Spoilers!
Terribili. Nel video Omelas sembra trovarsi simbolicamente all'interno del treno. Si tratta della rappresentazione dei vagoni riservati ai ricchi, che vivono sulle spalle dei poveri e dei bambini sfruttati. Entrambe le storie sono quindi un'allegoria delle società capitaliste.
So again, this is why I'm hesitant about analysis that go this deep. I think it's very interesting and very worthwhile. But at the same time, as a video editor and a person, a video-oriented person, you can read too much into transitions, because somebody opening a door and that door leading onto a train just looks nice. It looks nice, it feels good, it helps the flow with the music and the video. It doesn't necessarily mean that one room is supposed to be inside another. But, I think this is a very interesting theory. And the stories she's talking about are very cool. And the link back to the actual tragedy itself is 100% legit.
Sono quindi un'allegoria delle società capitaliste attuali, dove chi ha il potere è disposto a sacrificare degli innocenti per il proprio tornaconto. Il che è esattamente quello che è accaduto con l'incidente del Sewol.
뭐라고? 아 시간이 어딨어? 야 지금 시간이 문제야. 가족이 빠져서 그렇게 말해. 빨리 가 빨리.
This is insane. In the days of video and the fact this is being filmed, this is insane.
사람이 살아있다고요. 이러라고 이 새끼야. 사람이 살아있다고 가족이 왔대. 빨리 구해줘 좀.
Dopo la morte di ragazzini innocenti ci fu uno scarico di responsabilità e una ricerca di capri espiatori. E così i volontari accorsi in aiuto divennero responsabili di aver ostacolato operazioni di soccorso inesistenti, furono inventate condizioni atmosferiche avverse alle immersioni e il governo fece persino in modo che la stampa dipingesse i familiari delle vittime come rivoluzionari affamati di soldi, nel tentativo di manipolare l'opinione pubblica contro di loro. Qui potete vedere come un giornalista stia fingendo di essere pressato dalla calca e come polizia e reporter stiano premendo sui manifestanti del tutto pacifici. La tragedia del Sewol e i nastri gialli sono per questo diventati un simbolo della lotta contro la corruzione del governo coreano. C'è un motivo per cui la Big Hit e BTS hanno scelto di affrontare questi temi proprio adesso. Negli ultimi mesi molti funzionari governativi e collaboratori della presidentessa Park sono stati arrestati.
Good. Well, that's something. This is why I was making the comment I did about, America. And this kind of thing, the severity of it varies, of course, but this kind of thing, make no mistake, it's happening in many, many, civilized countries today. And very often people don't get arrested. And if they do, it's only because there's enough outcry, which might have been the case here. I mean, I don't want to get into it right now, but there's a billion things I could talk about that the UK government has done, the US government, I mean, the Canadian government. I don't exactly know what point I'm making, but it's so sad that this is quite literally a tale as old as time. I think one of the most fundamentally broken things about human society is that the people who are most motivated to be in positions of power are usually the ones who want to abuse those positions the most, you know? And I'm not even saying that like it's deep or a new revelation. I have no idea how to fix it, but I think it is basically a fact. That is a fact of the society we live in, of just human society in general. It's probably been true since the dawn of time. Quite often, people's motives for leading, they aren't decent, they aren't honest, and they aren't good motives. You know, there's been studies done. It's no coincidence that people with sociopathic tendencies are more inspired and more interested in being CEOs, politicians than any other demographic. Yeah, it's quite a depressing thing to talk about, but this kind of goes back to the entire thing that this video and the music video is saying. And man, like, I'm still kind of shaken by the Sewol tragedy thing. Like, like I said at the beginning, I revealed my ignorance about it. I said, you know, I knew that basically there was a sinking and there was a lot of corruption involved, and the government kind of covered that up. I had no idea how far it went. It's sick, honestly. Like, some of the footage there is sickening. But yeah, this is just a really well-made video.
La stessa Park è stata interrogata nel dicembre 2016 anche riguardo le sue responsabilità nella tragedia del Sewol, e questo 10 marzo è stata destituita dalla sua carica e arrestata. È stata inoltre scoperta l'esistenza di una lista nera governativa contenente i nomi di quasi 10.000 artisti.
That's good though, honestly, and congratulations to the people of South Korea if any of you guys happen to be watching this. Like, that is something, because, you know, for every park out there, you can name 1,000, 1,000,000 even leaders or businesses, bosses, CEOs who have done stuff as horrible or in the same vein of horribleicity as this, and have not had any kind of recompense, any kind of karma coming around from it, basically.
Di una lista nera governativa contenente i nomi di quasi 10.000 artisti che sono stati discriminati e censurati per aver espresso idee politiche di sinistra o mostrato solidarietà alle famiglie delle vittime del naufragio. Nella lista erano presenti anche i nomi del regista del film Snowpiercer assieme a uno degli attori principali, e questo ci spiega ulteriormente il riferimento a questo film nel video di Spring Day. Quelle che vedete sono le immagini delle proteste che sono avvenute in questi mesi a Sewol.
That's incredible.
Rappresentano la speranza nel futuro della Corea.
That's incredible. That is democracy in action right there.
Hanno fortemente espresso la loro opposizione al governo. Nello show che state vedendo, i rapper, al posto di sfidarsi tra loro, hanno attaccato all'unisono l'amministrazione Park, ricordando fra l'altro la tragedia del Sewol.
나의 봄이 아직 시린 이유 떨어지는 꽃잎이 너무나 슬픈 이유 눈물에 젖은 꽃잎 우리의 봄 반성 없는 그들 미안 남은 우리의 몸 그날 이후.
Le parole di questo pezzo non vi ricordano un po' il testo di Spring Day? Anche i BTS
Yeah. Yes, it did.
hanno segretamente donato 100 milioni di won, circa 80.000 euro, all'Organizzazione per la Verità e per una società più sicura, creata dalle famiglie coinvolte nel naufragio del Sewol. Nonostante la stampa non fosse stata informata, dopo il comeback la notizia è venuta a galla. La Big Hit ha confermato la donazione, aggiungendo solo che i ragazzi ritenevano la questione un affare.
I have big respect for that. You know, I think a donation of any kind is usually good. There's very few instances in which a donation wouldn't be good. Maybe if Hitler came back from the grave and tried to donate money to my bank account, I'd be like, no, that's a bad donation. That's one of the examples I can think of. And by saying that, my point is that, you know, I don't judge artist celebrities when they donate and they make it public. You know, when it's done publicly, it's done maybe even as an attention grab, you know. Good is still being done at the end of the day. But artists that make donations, or anyone who makes donations without shouting about it, those are good people. I guarantee it. Those are good people, because, you know, it just shows that it's all about the gesture. It's all about what it means rather than what it shows you yourself off as. If you want to be a good person, then be a good person. There's a difference between being a good person and making people think you're a good person by trying the hardest to have a spotlight shone on your good behavior. I think there's a very big distinction there, and if I understood what she just said correctly, then I massively respect the BTS lads for making that donation without trying to have it be like a public news story.
Conferenza stampa dopo l'uscita dell'album, Rapmaster ha dichiarato che con i 4 brani di You Never Walk Alone i BTS vogliono mostrare la speranza e la rinascita della gioventù che proviene dalla lotta e dalla disperazione.
우리들도 젊은 사람들도 그 한국 사회의 미래를 생각하고 그런 능력이 충분히 있다고 생각하고 앞으로 더 나은 그런 대한민국을 만들기 위해서
That's the spirit. You have to believe it before you can make it happen.
Nei vestiti che indossano che rimandano a questi concetti. La tigre sulla maglia di V simboleggia la lotta, mentre l'ape, oltre ad essere un simbolo spesso associato alla rinascita come la farfalla e le fenici, è anche un simbolo di operosità e si presta bene a rappresentare i giovani coreani.
Interesting. And do these symbols, do they come from like Korean culture or Korean folklore or something? Maybe she'll get into that in a second, but she's just saying what they represent without the backstory. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. This is interesting.
La memoria e il ricordo, e poi ci sono le ali, l'aereo, le piume. Si tratta quindi di un messaggio di conforto e di speranza nella rinascita di un'intera generazione che lotta affinché gli errori, la negligenza e la corruzione della società non debbano più ricadere su di essa e su coloro che verranno.
Again, I'm going to categorize these past few lines as under the banner of like could be true, but more of a stretch, more of a stretch.
Sono infatti proprio i giovani che stanno più soffrendo e pagando a causa dell'ordine.
Yeah, I feel like I have read about this.
Non a caso il tasso di suicidi fra gli studenti di questa nazione è fra i più alti al mondo. Alle domande riguardo i riferimenti alla tragedia nel video di Spring Day, Rapmaster ha risposto: siamo piuttosto cauti nel parlare del naufragio del
Well, I can understand why.
che in quanto cittadini dello Stato dovremmo sentirci responsabili. Abbiamo donato perché volevamo aiutare il progetto. Dopo quello che vi ho mostrato potete facilmente immaginare perché i ragazzi siano cauti. Ma
Yeah.
Rapmaster ha anche detto che i BTS non resteranno in silenzio riguardo le ragionevoli questioni sociali e che contribuiranno a lottare contro questi problemi con la loro.
Huge respect, huge respect. If you can speak out about issues in a way that circumnavigates censorship, still makes the point well, still motivates people, still energizes people, gets people, you know, politically active, socially active, all that kind of stuff, then yeah, because it's really clever as well. It's like playing a corrupt government at their own game, because at the end of the day, you can be a martyr and kind of just tackle it head on and put yourself at risk of basically being locked up, censored, whatever it is, and that is still, you know, that's still a very noble thing to do. But in the long run, maybe like the more intelligent, the more like productive thing to do is to do all of that stuff in a way where you're skirting the boundaries of what you can get away with. That kind of is what revolution is all about anyway. It's like pushing against those boundaries until you move them. Alright, I think that's the end of that video, and whew, that is fantastic. I mean, it was 17 minutes long, but it did not feel like it at all. It's a really, really well put together video. I think it's given me, like I said, just a far higher and more intense appreciation for that music video and all the imagery in it. And forgive me again for a few times where I was like, oh, I think that's stretching a bit much. In my defense, like I said, those instances still could be completely accurate interpretations. But more importantly, in the past when I've watched like, you know, music video explain videos or like, you know, movie explain videos, I've been like for like the whole video, not just like 2% of it. That was so well put together that there was only a few things where I was like, maybe that's a bit much. The fact that 90% of it I was like, that is spot on, like, and that explains everything so well is a massive compliment. So Italian Army, if you ever happen to see this, thank you so much for putting that together. Just fantastic, really well assembled and well researched and just clever. Oh, actually just noticed that it says in the description I was invited to speak at a 3 days long conference about BTS in Sewol, which is, wow, I mean, well deserved. I'm honestly so shocked this video only has 30,000 views, because it's just brilliant. YouTube doesn't make sense a lot of the time. But anyway, yes, thank you so much Italian Army for that video. It is really excellent. Thank you to you guys who suggested this. Once again, this has solidified my view on the Spring Day music video. I mean, I think the biggest thing I took away from this video is really probably the Sewol Ferry tragedy. I'm the kind of person who, I don't know why, but I kind of like probably you know, blame my mental health for this, but when I read about sad stuff, I kind of find it really fascinating, not in like some sick, like, you know, oh, I love sorrow kind of way, but I just find it kind of fascinating. Maybe it's a reminder of, you know, of just how different life is and how, you know, and all the kind of things that are going on in the world. I don't know, I like to know about this kind of stuff, and I have a feeling that I'm probably going to end up reading about this on Wikipedia and various sources tonight until like 3 in the morning. So it's going to be fun for waking up tomorrow. But my goodness, like I like I said, back in 2014, I'm pretty sure I definitely read about this on the news, but not the aftermath and like all the corruption stuff. And it's just mind blowing. It's just you know, I guess this isn't really what this video is about, but like this might be the video I've seen recently that has emotionally affected me the most. And I think the footage of all those parents, especially like Coast Guards just sitting in the boats being like, oh yeah, we'll go and rest him in the beach, just like it didn't even seem like real footage. It's just so, you know, like, I don't know how to describe it. It just shows like the potential of humanity, you know, the potential of humanity. There's so much potential for like overwhelming good, but also overwhelming bad. And most days I want to believe the good outweighs the bad. But then you see stuff like that and it's just like, you know, how do you get to that situation? How do you get to a situation where you have people in uniforms, people who are supposed to protect people, acting that way in a way that is just beyond evil, you know, just... I don't know. I don't know if this is a rhetoric question that's suited for a YouTube outro of a reaction video, but yeah, this video has given me a lot to think about. And like I said, real newfound appreciation for the music video and the song itself. Thank you to all of you guys who suggested this. Thank you again to Italian Army for the fantastic video. Thank you for watching to you if you've made it this far and you enjoyed my reaction, of course. Don't forget to subscribe, like. Please do, of course, comment your suggestions for further reaction videos in the future. Maybe something slightly more cheery for next time, and that's just tongue-in-cheek, really. Like, I'm definitely down to tackle the heavy stuff, but maybe just one cheery video before I get back into something like this again. Wow. Anyway, probably going to go and have a nice lie down now. Maybe a little nap. Maybe sort of lie down, face down on the couch for a bit. So yeah, I'll sign off. Thanks again for checking out this video. Hope you guys are having a lovely day. I'll see you next time. Oh yes, and remember, if you like my reaction to Italian Army, then go ahead and subscribe. Don't be balmy.